Welcome to the A Lot of Things recap / thoughts on episode 11, Twin Peaks: The Return, or as I like to call it, one of my favorite episodes this season. So much happened. Let's get to it right away. Miriam is alive. Booyah. Take that, Richard. Take that, Mr. Richard Horn. In quotes, Horn. She looks in a bad way, but she's going to be fine. And she's going to tell everybody, and that mofo is going to get taken down. Becky goes a little mental and steals the car from Shelley, and then for some reason Shelley's on the car. It's a little crazy of a scene. But Becky has every reason to be pissed that awful Steven is awful and is off with another lady. And she's like, I am not having this anymore. Although flash forward at the family scene, which I liked, family get-together, discuss all the stuff that's going on. She's defended him because that's what happens in relationships like that, I know. Ugh. Carl continues to be amazing and helps Shelley out with his little whistle that he blows because he can get a car whenever he needs it that way. Because Carl, a.k.a. Harry Dean Stanton, a.k.a. Lucky, a movie he's going to be in soon, which is going to be incredible. So Gordon, Albert, Diane, Tamara, Bill Hastings, they all go to this weird area where Bill Hastings said all the weird stuff went down. And we see some woodsmen, and it's creepy, and something really bad happens to Bill Hastings. But not before one of my favorite moments ever is they finally get to see this vortex, a Donnie Darko type moment, to the other world, the other place, the other dimension, Black Lodge, White Lodge, waiting room, blah. And one of my favorite things is little David Lynch doing his little puppet hands, it looks like. He's just waving his hands in the air, and no one sees anything except him, I guess. And it's an adorable little scene. But here's what I'm liking. They're getting somewhere. We're going to things. We're putting pieces together. We're showing that they're supernatural, including what happened to Bill Hastings. Supernatural. I love the line, there's no backup for that. There isn't, by the way, because that's a straight-up supernatural kind of way to go. Again, back to the family moment. It's adorable. Bobby's showing some strength. He's saying, like, hey, the Steven guy's going to be a douche. I will take him down. She defends him, which is kind of crappy, but happens. I understand. But it's cool to see this moment. I think, in general, most of this show has a lot of positivity. Some real weird stuff as well, but I think a lot of positivity versus the such negative other episode. Then a lot of random stuff, too. A gun goes off. Supposedly this little kid accidentally shot it out the window and went into the diner, and we find out that the kid is just like serious business. He's like, listen, yeah, I shot that gun. Look at me, I'm in military gear. I'm ready to do this. Funny aside, and jokey time aside, I was just talking about gun control the morning before this episode came out, and it's a whole conversation, but it's interesting. I feel like it comes up in this episode. I think there's a reason for that. That little kid, come on. Then what I thought was going to be a comedic moment with this lady just freaking out with the horn is also very Lynchian to just have some noise going on over and over again. But she looks like she's going to be just a fun time. We're late. We've got to go somewhere. It's important. And then creepy little kid with the mouth and the stuff coming out of it. What? No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see what I saw. Didn't explain it, and I didn't know why Bobby wasn't as freaked out. I was like, Bobby, be a little more freaked out. You seem to be investigating this boy who is vomiting and came from nowhere. I mean, was the boy out there the whole time? Was she freaking out because she just all of a sudden saw a boy appear, or because the boy was there and just all of a sudden got sick? But she was freaking out like, I've never seen this thing before. What is going on? And Bobby's like, yeah, that seems like interesting. It's thing that's going on in that car. It's kind of weird. Or like he knew the boy? I don't know. I love Hawk being the wise one, figuring things out. He's got this old map that I think is the first time it's ever shown up. Is that right? And he says, we've been all questioning what that little weird face circle thing with the antennas is. And he's like, you don't know what that is. So he knows what it is. And it's sure it's some sort of dark force. When they start to investigate what is this stuff that we just all saw today with the vortex, all that kind of stuff, Diane's just being, I don't know, weird, looking at things. She's memorizing those coordinates. People said she was bad last episode. I didn't want to believe it, but she's being weird. She's being weird. For some reason, the whole time, Gordon never cares. He's just like, well, I'm just going to eat these donuts and we'll figure out what's happening. We get some dumb Dougie moments, which, as you know, if you've watched the last one or listened to me talk anywhere, don't care for the Dougie. At moments, I enjoy his simplicity, but then I'm like, just give me Coop. And when I was almost done with his Mitchum Brothers business, Belushi has this dream. And I just say Belushi at this point. His name's Bradley. Yeah. Bradley has this dream, and it starts to come true, which reminds me, by the way, of the dream that was in Mulholland Drive, just in the small sense of like a dream and then it potentially kind of coming true. But yeah, that is kind of foretold that there's some sort of dream, and he's kind of freaked out by it. And then Coop was going to go and give these guys some money to chill them out. And instead, before he goes over, he finds a little Mike sighting. Mike seems to be popping up everywhere. Or Gerard. And he says, come over here, go in this place. Because that's what happens, I guess. Once you leave the lodges and the waiting room, you just get messages sometimes to say stuff, and then those messages turn into the things that you need in real life. Anywho, he leads him to get this box from that place, and they bring the box, and the box is in the dream, and spoiler, it's a cherry pie, and everything's fine. But the only problem with this scene I had is that I liked that it ended positive, but I thought potentially if they like shot at him or attacked him, he'd be like turned into old Coop again and karate chop their necks and turn back to Coop. But nope, they're just all happy, and they go have pie and drinks, which he, again, doesn't know what a glass is. He doesn't know what a glass is. At this point, he doesn't know what a glass is. There's learning that happens. Like babies. Babies learn things. Oh, don't put that in my mouth because it's, tastes terrible. Or, oh, cry for this and I get this back. Learning. Dougie/Coop doesn't learn things. He couldn't even get out of the car in the desert. The guy had to, bring his feet out. Anyways, this is a positive scene. It ends positively. I love this. And then they say, damn good pie. And then he says, damn good. And he gets the remembering thing, which we're all excited to see. He's remembering something. Coop, remember damn good coffee? Also, Candy shows back up. And she's just looking into space. Candy, what's going on with you? And, of course, you have the lady who won all the stuff at the casino because of Dougie/Coop. And that's a cool little moment. He's not listening to her because he's listening to Piano Man, who, is he playing some sort of special song that I don't remember? I don't know. But it's still a nice scene. So that's it. And it ends with the song that I feel like I should know, but I don't. In general, love this episode. So much happens. So much happens. Friends of mine were like, I had to take a breather. You know what? I'm fine with it. If it's not an hour of Dougie just looking off into the distance, I'm fine with it. Here's my big thing about this. I like the fact that the supernatural got called out and accepted. We're all dancing around the subject sometimes in Twin Peaks, especially even the old series. I think it's kind of supernatural. I think it's magical. I think dark and light forces are happening, but it just didn't come out as much. And then it was like, oh yeah, Coop went into that weird space where you couldn't see him anymore. And Truman saw that, and you're like, okay, there you go, recognition of weird stuff. But this one seemed to bring it out into the light a few times, which was great. Overall, I really, really dug this episode. I can't even tell you how much. I really liked it a lot. The only thing that would have made it better is the very end, Coop came back to Coop because he got his mojo back. But it didn't happen. Episode 12. We're not too far away from the ending. Coop, come back to us, Coop.